ये है तनासन देहात की व्यवस्था है कि मतलब ये सब अध्ययन करना बत्ती जले
घंटा 10 घंटे
4 घंटा
2 घंटे
6 घंटे
2 घंटा
6 घंटे
5 घंटे
3 घंटे
7-8 घंटे रहती होगी बस।
Hello everyone.
Teachers at this primary school in China
蓝色是走神了，
know exactly when someone isn't paying attention.
白色就是你可能跟网络还没有连接好。
These headbands measure each student's level of concentration. The information is then directly sent to the teacher's computer and to parents.
लेके आए थे, कितनी भी लेके आए थे, ट्रिपल भी लेके आए थे। बात समझ में आ रही है?
The Chinese kids, they belong to the top 5 across the globe in learning. Quite unfortunately, the Indian kids, they feature in the bottom 5. You take the number of schools. Now, after the Right to Education Act was done in 2009, somewhere I think the system believed that it is important to enroll kids into schools, to ensure that there is more enrollment, to ensure that the Right to Education Act is implemented to its effectiveness. The number of schools were increased. So every government school will probably have 45 to 50 students. They'll have 2 teachers, they'll have 2 classrooms and 1 cook. So you need to keep it in your mind, there is no principal, there is absolutely no administrative staff. Now when students from different age groups, they come into this particular school, usually what happens is, or maybe the studies, which says that one particular teacher will teach students from first standard, second standard and third standard. Now all the students are sitting in the same classroom. And the second teacher will be busy with students from 4th standard and 5th standard. Now, what sort of an education is that? What is the problem, inside the school? A bigger problem. Most of the places, electricity is a huge problem. The classes have turned into, smart rooms, but the electricity is not smart enough to reach them. Pratham is one of the most actively contributing non-profit organization in the educational sector in India. So they did a study in 26 districts with 36,000 students across 24 states. And they came out with their audit report on Jan 24, 2020, where they said that the biggest problem that lies at the grassroots level, number one, the Right to Education Act says the students who are enrolled into standard first should be at the age group of 6. So they should be 6 years old to be inducted into first standard. But when they did this particular audit with 36,000 students, they understood that 40% of them are below 6 years of age. So they don't have the brain capacity to learn what is supposed to be taught in first standard. Obviously, why are they going? They are going because of midday meals. In a 50% of the students, they cannot read fluently. They cannot do the basic mathematics. 50% of them. But somewhere, when we believed in quantity more than quality, I guess we forgot about the effectiveness of education. The number of girls enrolled in government schools is more than boys. Obviously, the only inference is parents, they make their investment in boys. They would like to pull out their kids from a government school and put them in a private school, and they are ready to invest more in boys than girls, because somewhere there is a social mindset, there is a cultural mindset in our people that if at all we invest more on boys, they will come back and take care of us, because the girl is obviously going to get married and she's going to go into a different household. And that's really, really sad. Why are these girls being sent to government schools? Does it really resonate the right intention? No. Because in most of the rural household, the women, most of these women, they go for their daily wage work. They are daily laborers. They have to go and work at a construction site or maybe on an infrastructure development company or somewhere else. So they cannot take care of the kid. By the time the girl turns 12 or 13, they'll send the girl for work as well. In India, if you see, private school education is very, very expensive. Very, very expensive. But still, parents are ready to take their savings and put it into a private school. If you look at America, the data would say that the students who go to private schools is roughly around 10%. And they are the number one economy in the world. But it's just 10%. But in India, here, almost 40%, if I'm not mistaken, almost 40% of kids, they go to private schools here. Which is, I'm not very sure if it is something that we should celebrate or not. More than quantity, we start believing in quality and effectiveness of education. I somehow believe we can still hope for a change. There is still hope. We can ensure that 25 years down the line, we don't see these many migrant laborers on the road. We don't see them die under a good strain. Thank you.
मैं प्राथमिक विद्यालय में पढ़ता हूँ और मेरी बहन मेरे साथ में स्कूल जाती है। मैं कक्षा 4 में पढ़ता हूँ। मेरे घर में मेरे मम्मी पापा, मेरे बहन भाई हैं। बड़े होकर मुझे डॉक्टर बनना है, लेकिन बिजली गांव में नहीं आती है। मोमबत्ती से पढ़ता हूँ तो आँखों में जलन होने लगता है और आँच टपकने लगता है।
आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी और उत्तम शिक्षक और बढ़िया इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, ये अगर हम कर लें तो हम शिक्षा में बहुत बदलाव ला सकते हैं। और दूर सुदूर जंगलों में रहने वाला मेरा आदिवासी बच्चा भी बहुत अच्छी पढ़ाई प्राप्त कर सकता है, शिक्षा प्राप्त कर सकता है। और इसलिए शिक्षा के मूल को अगर हमने स्पर्श करना है तो सिर्फ इमारतें बनाने से काम नहीं चलेगा, इस मूलभूत परिवर्तन लाने की आवश्यकता है।
So finally, we are winding up season 1. Sounding Board has been an absolutely fascinating journey to have interacted with our viewers over the idea of the crisis of migrant laborers in the country and the social issues associated with them. I would like to thank my entire crew to have helped me put together all the ideas. So Ganesh Rajasekharan, he's the concept was mine, but the ideas have come from him. He works on the creative aspect of subjects that needs to be included in the episode. So thank you Ganesh. So I have Ashik Rahman on editing and mixing. So he has been absolutely magical with all the work that we have done. If you see the digital signature on the title page, it took around 2.5 hours to get that thing done. Behind the camera, I had Gautam Virendran, who did some splendid work with the shots. He is the one who always ensures that I look good in all my photographs. Whatever you have around you, you need to have a sense of gratitude. You need to believe that it's a blessing, and it is important that we make the best out of it when something is being offered to you. I'm an entrepreneur. I know I work for money, I do my business, but once in a while, when I have all the time in the world, if I'm able to make a difference somehow in the society by contributing to your thought process and your rationale, I think that's the biggest achievement, a selfless sort of an achievement that perhaps I could attribute to myself 25, 30 years down the line when I look back in my career. So I'll see you guys hopefully for a season 2, sounding good. Hopefully not during a lockdown. I just hope things eases out and all of us are able to go back to our lives like how it was. So when everything eases down, go for a vacation, enjoy your time, but appreciate life. I'll see you guys very soon. This is Ranjit Keshav signing off from Sounding Good.